Hi everybody, happy Motivational Monday. This is Jessica Boss here. I was thinking the other day just about mistakes. We all make mistakes, and in fact, they're meant to be made. I feel like so many of us, myself included, focus so much on our mistakes, on what we did wrong, on I should have done this, I should have done that. So many expectations that come to mind. And I wish I wouldn't have spent so much time agonizing over my mistakes and instead focusing on how I could overcome my mistakes. Because I really believe that mistakes are all part of the learning process. When you make a mistake, it helps teach you how to do something different for next time. If you hadn't have made that mistake, no matter how big or how small, you would never have been able to learn for next time. It's okay to make a mistake. It's actually a good thing to make a mistake. You learn from your mistakes, and hopefully your lessons get easier with every mistake. I think the important thing is, as long as you are learning from your mistakes, that's what counts. Now, if you keep making mistakes over and over again and you're never able to figure out what you did wrong and then how you can improve, I think that second part of that is super vital. How could I have done something better for next time? If you don't have that understanding, that's when it can be a very dead-end cycle where you feel like you're just drowning in your mistakes and in your agony of your sorrows, and that's not a good place to be. Now, knowing that you don't have to beat yourself up should be a really first good step to overcoming your mistakes. We take so much abuse on ourselves and criticize ourselves, speak ill about ourselves, and that's all being stored subconsciously. You may not remember it, but it's there. And the more you're speaking against yourself, especially in regard to a mistake that was made, the more you are punishing yourself and keeping yourself from actually growing and overcoming your mistakes. That's where it gets really challenging, because I know sometimes human nature, we just want to go straight toward the negative side of things and say, oh, I should have done that, oh, I'm an idiot, I did this, and oh, I blew that, or blah blah blah. But the fact of the matter is, we're all trying to figure this out. Nobody has it all figured out. Even in the case where you have people that you look up to, a lot of times those same people will tell you that they themselves struggled with self-doubt and failure and pain, hurt, disappointment, everything. Nobody is immune to it. They went through what you went through. They just learned how to overcome. They learned how to push past the pain, the hurt, the disappointment, the mistakes. And you can too. Sometimes it's human nature to point out other people's mistakes, and that's because if we recognize something in ourselves that we don't like, we're more apt to point the finger at somebody else for doing that same thing. And what that does, it just keeps us in a place of hypocrisy and never growing. Nobody on this planet is perfect, and I don't even think that that's a healthy thing to strive for, perfection, because it's very subjective and it's unattainable. It's not tangible where you can measure what exactly perfection is. And sometimes in the mistakes, there are things that happen that become serendipitous. Things that are just like, whoa, this just happened, and it was a mistake, but it's a beautiful mistake. Those are things you can't really plan for. Those are things that just happen, and it actually turns out better than maybe what you thought it should have looked like. If you're pointing fingers at other people, I know that you've heard this, when you point one finger, you have four of the fingers pointing back at you. And it's a constant reminder for me to really think about my actions and to really let myself forgive people for doing things, because nobody is perfect, and maybe that person who did the mistake to you, maybe that was meant to happen in order for you to accomplish something different. So if they hadn't have made that mistake and disappointed you, maybe you wouldn't be on that, you wouldn't reach that next level. Maybe you would still be stuck in a different level. The fact of the matter is, mistakes are okay to be made. Anyone who tells you that you're a mistake or you're horrible for making a mistake, they're only responding based on their own perception of how they view life and what has happened to them, what has occurred to them. And honestly, that's their experience. It doesn't have to be your experience. In fact, don't let it be your experience. Because if you're not making mistakes, it means you're not growing and you're not learning. And it means you're stale and you're stagnant. And that is not a way to live life. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and think that you have to have something perfect in order to show people. Mistakes are all part of the learning process. And if you don't just take action and do it, then you'll never learn from your mistakes. You won't have anything to learn from your mistakes. So I'm not saying go out and make life-changing mistakes that could maybe impact your life negatively or somebody else's life negatively. It's more like, once it's done, look forward to what you can do to improve or make it better. Even if you do make one of those life-altering mistakes, forgive yourself and then figure out how to move on. Unfortunately, there's always going to be consequences to behaviors, whether positive or negative, but they're all things that one can work through. It may not be easy, because I can tell you sometimes when I've made some mistakes, they weren't easy to recover from, and it took sometimes even years to learn from that one mistake. It's just how it goes. But you have to just keep pushing forward and recognize that the mistake was in the past and you're looking toward the future while trying to maintain integrity and purpose in the present. So at the end of the day, if you make a mistake, instead of beating yourself up, start by looking at, what can I do to improve? What can I do to make things better? Where is the lesson that I'm supposed to learn from this? These are all good questions to start with so that you can hopefully learn from the mistake, and then you're less likely to make that same mistake in the future. But even if you do, you're continually learning and asking better questions so that you can grow and overcome your obstacles. Happy Motivational Monday to y'all. This is Jessica Boss, helping you be the boss in life. And if you liked this video and you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. What is something that you're going to do today to overcome your mistakes? Are you going to find the lesson learned? Are you going to see how you can improve? Or are you just going to forgive yourself and maybe celebrate yourself and then find an action plan? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys are gonna be up to. So until next time, y'all have an amazing, amazing day. Love y'all so much, and I'm so grateful for the support that I receive. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.